Hello, thank you so much for joining me. I'm down in the summer house once more. Um, it's lovely to spend a bit of time down here and just chill. And I was thinking the other night about parties. Somebody had been talking about a children's party and the goodie bag that they had when they came home. Woo! Thinking back to when I was little, we had children's parties. They were always very squashed because we lived just in a small terraced house, as the majority of my friends did. But we used to love them. Um, Jelly in little frilly edged paper containers, sandwiches, cakes. And the take home was a piece of cake wrapped up very nicely. And if you were lucky, a balloon. No great big goodie bag. So times have changed. And I always used to ask if I could take a sandwich home for my parents. And fortunately, the parents of my friends knew my parents. So they knew it was for me doing it, not because my parents were in great need. And my parents would always say, "Oh, thank you very much, but you really needn't do that." And one day I came home and didn't give them a sandwich, and apparently they thought, hey, she's got out of it. Anyway, next morning when Mum was washing my party dress, there was a pocket full of jelly. So I think talks were had with me that maybe I should just enjoy the party for myself whilst I was there. Bless. So those stopped, obviously, when I grew up. And instead, I had parties, organised parties. We often had a New Year's Eve party, but when my ex-husband was 40, big party. When he left the Air Force at 38, big party. My sons, somehow or other, they managed both an 18th birthday party and a 21st each. Not quite sure how that happened. And for my one son's birthday is in March, so to allow the huge numbers that he had invited, I actually had a marquee over the yard area and a space heater in there. So that was great fun until somebody actually chose to sit in the fountain there, which wasn't. And I always had just one rule for these parties, that if they drank, they stayed. And they gave me their car keys, or they put them in a pot, or, we always had car keys removed. And the first time this happened, you could hear that. But then when they realised that breakfast the next morning, and breakfast was American pancakes, muffins, bacon, eggs, sausages, you name it, they suddenly weren't at all dismayed at having to spend the night. And for a party, rather than just a few of their friends round, the sitting room floor used to be sleeping bags everywhere. And I'd gone to bed and left them. And about 4 o'clock in the morning was woken by tooting the horn in the lane outside. Nobody downstairs stirred, so I grabbed my dressing gown and went down. And there were two, I remember them as big burly men, I don't know whether they actually were, sitting, swearing very colourfully at me about blocking the lane. And one of the kids had parked their car against my wall, and this guy said he couldn't get past. Even I could have got past, probably driving a bus, but anyway. He said, "Move it." I said, "Well, just wait a minute, I've got to find whose keys they are." So he kept sounding his horn. I went in, I said, right guys, whose is the whatever car it was outside? Guys, wake up, whose car is it? Suddenly a head said, yeah, mine. Where are your car keys? I can't drive it. No, I know you can't. Where are your car keys? So the car keys were produced, and I went back out in my nightie and dressing gown, got these guys to reverse up, and I had to get into the passenger side and climb across to the driver's side in my nightie and dressing gown. Okay, I did it. And it's a memory that I'm not quite sure treasured is the right word, but a memory that will certainly stick with me. But I've done all of these parties, given all of these parties, but there's never been one for me. Oh. So I need to get my act together and do a party for me. I had a 60th party that I prepared everything, I did everything. So I have to accept that if I want a party, I will have to do it. So maybe I need to get my head around that. Expectations, don't set them. The only expectation is, can I do it? I'll panic. No, you won't. You can do it. You've done it lots of times before. You can do it again. So on that note, I will say cheerio for now. Take care of yourself, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.